He's got 3 points to his plan for the conversation with Vladimir Putin today. He wants to de-escalate the crisis around Ukraine's borders. He would like to see the Russian president agree to reduce troop numbers. He'd like to restart the stalled negotiations called the Minsk agreements, which were set up 7, 8 years ago, after the first crisis began in Crimea after the occupation, in Ukraine after the occupation of Crimea. He'd like to get those restarted. He'd also like to make some progress on those Normandy format talks that were held in Paris a couple of weeks ago. And he'd like to start talking with Putin about the possibility for setting the stage for a European security deal, for a new configuration of European security arrangements that take into account perhaps Putin's concerns, whilst respecting the red lines that the US and NATO have drawn up, which Macron agrees with. So those are on the agenda today. Putin, for his part, has said that he hopes the talks will be substantive and get to the bottom of things.
And Nick, as I mentioned, sources close to the French president have suggested that he'll focus kind of on buying time for the next several months. But what do you think are his more wider aims?
Macron has been positioning himself ever since he was elected 5 years ago as the go-to leader for Europe. He would like to see Europe have much more say in international affairs, and in a way he's challenging US hegemony that has been apparent for the last 30 years since the end of the Cold War. In that 40-minute call yesterday with President Biden, Macron and Biden agreed that they would coordinate matters, that they would be on the same page, and at the same time, Macron, as you've just mentioned, does apparently want to buy time for those elections coming up, although he hasn't decided yet whether he's going to run or not. There are also elections in Hungary and Slovenia in April.